was online on like Snapchat and he was getting nudes and videos from girls. And he was like, sexting them like back and telling them like, oh, like your ass is so amazing, this, that.
Yeah, damn indeed. So we're finally about to learn the dirty truth about Rob's online cheating. But judging by the look on his face, I don't think he's too happy with Sophie's honesty here. But speaking of honesty, it's about time Sophie finally told Rob her big secret.
I'm just going to say it very quickly, so I don't want to say it 2 times.
Okay.
I'm bi.
Yeah, the fact that Sophie can't even look him in the eye says everything, but we'll come to that shortly. Now, the last time we saw these two, Sophie was still coming to terms with Rob's online cheating, and in a desperate attempt to win Sophie back, Rob was trying to sweep her off her feet. He was trying to play the apologetic nice guy, and it worked. Sophie forgave him. So when we join them in this episode, it seems like things are back on track, at least on the surface level. You see, they're hanging out with Rob's friends at the bowling alley.
Tonight we're going to meet up with Ty and Tarai at the bowling alley.
I'd say bowling's actually pretty big in England. Because in England, there's not a lot of outdoorsy stuff to do because the weather's so bad.
Now, on first glance, things between Rob and Sophie seem like they're good. They're laughing together, they're enjoying each other's company. They seem like a normal, happy couple. That is, until Ty asks a very direct question that catches Sophie off guard. He quizzes her about why she was even going through Rob's phone in the first place a few days ago.
What's all this going through phone stuff? I heard you was going through Rob's phone. Why you was up in his phone like that?
Because did he not tell you what he did?
Either Ty has the wrong end of the stick here, or he just really doesn't like Sophie. I'm leaning towards the latter, because the last time he saw her, he backhandedly accused her of cheating. But now that his friend Rob has actually been caught cheating, well, it's still somehow Sophie's fault. But the way that Rob immediately gets defensive makes it very clear to everyone, even Ty, that he's only told them part of the story. You see, it turns out that while Rob shared that Sophie was going through his phone, he missed out a vital part of that story. He conveniently omitted the part that he was getting nudes and explicit videos from other women.
You didn't tell her?
Do I need to dive into every detail of what it was?
Yes,
I should not have responded.
Yes, bro, because I'm forming an opinion, an unfair opinion, based off of what you're giving me.
I don't know why.
It's becoming clearer and clearer that Rob is a compulsive liar. A lie by omission is still a lie, Rob. Like, the fact that he can't even be honest with his best friends kind of proves that lying is a lifestyle for him. But it's also interesting how he chose to present the truth in a way that made Sophie look bad. He was the one that was cheating, but somehow he's painting Sophie out as being controlling. So now, Sophie takes it upon herself to tell the entire story.
He was online on like Snapchat and he was getting nudes and videos from girls. And he was like, sexting them like back and telling them like, oh, like your ass is so amazing, this, that.
I love how Sophie dropped the entire details of this scandal, the whole sordid affair, in front of the whole bowling alley. We've finally been given some of the missing details. Details like, for example, he wasn't paying for this service. It wasn't OnlyFans, for example. He was actively conversing with these women on Snapchat. Now, returning back to Ty's original question, Sophie addresses why she feels the need to look through Rob's phone. She does so to gain trust back in the relationship. It's a consequence of his actions.
I'm trying to be like, how can I gain trust? Like, I would need to know, I'm not going to find any more videos, I'm not going to find anything, and it's like, this is what helps me kind of try to get the trust back.
Look at Rob's face here. Look at the rage in his eyes. What happened to that nice guy act, Rob? Yeah, it seems like he's only interested in being honest when it suits him. Rather than show remorse for his actions, he seems more concerned here that his ego has taken a hit. He's been made to look bad to his closest friends, and he doesn't like that. Ironically, Rob feels like he's the victim here. He feels betrayed by Sophie's honesty.
I feel like my blood leaked into the water and all the sharks was like, oh, here we go, it's feeding time. That basically made me feel like, okay, nothing I've done has fixed this.
Rob, have you already forgotten what Sophie said to you? She told you pretty clearly she was gonna forgive, but not forget. There's nothing you can say or do that's gonna make it like this didn't happen. And telling half-truths to your friends, trying to make your fiance look bad, pretending like it never happened, well, that's not gonna do you any good. Now, when we join them the next morning, Sophie decides to call her good friend from home to chat through everything.
I'm calling my friend from London, Maya, just to kind of get some advice and tell her what's going on with the whole Rob and the cheating thing. It's nice to have support.
Unlike Rob, Sophie isn't prepared to just pretend that everything's fine and dandy. She's not putting on a front. So when her friend Maya asks her how things have been in LA, she's honest about the fact that it hasn't exactly been smooth sailing with Rob. But she does make a subtle yet very telling statement that despite the fact that they're having relationship issues, she just loves LA.
It's been like a little bit crazy, like with some things with like me and Rob, but like I love it here so far, so yeah.
This could be yet another clue that Sophie is sacrificing respect in her relationship for the chance of life in LA. Look, it's not that I think Sophie doesn't care for Rob. I think she does. But you get the impression that maybe she's willing to overlook certain things because of what Rob might be able to give her. A green card, access to LA. Now, either way, Sophie continues to tell her friend about Rob's infidelity.
Like, you know about the online cheating that he did. And like, you were like, how do you know he's not going to do it again, right? He did it again.
The look on Maya's face here is comical. She's not shocked, but she plays the role very well. Now, in any case, Maya advises Sophie for a second time not to trust Rob. But honestly, judging by her response, Sophie doesn't want any rational advice. She really seems like she wants her friend to tell her to look past it.
I don't think you should trust him at all. Say you forgive him. Are you really going to be happy on the wedding day?
I hate how you have good points.
In any normal circumstance, cheating is hard enough to get over. But the fact that this wedding is so rushed, it's in just 60 days, well, it makes Maya's question all the more important. It's not just a good point. This is a question that Sophie needs to take really, really seriously. There's so many secrets in this relationship, and Maya reminds Sophie that she has her own big secret.
The last time I saw you, you told me, that you were bisexual. Has that come up yet? Because now you were worried about telling him that.
Sophie explains that no, she hasn't told Rob yet. She's apparently been too nervous. But this conversation with her friend has clearly struck a chord. Sophie knows that it's time to come clean. So when will she break this news? Well, how about the next day, as they're meant to be going shopping for wedding rings?
Today I'm about to tell Rob that I'm bisexual, so I'm not really looking forward to it. I've been putting it off for so long.
Sophie's clearly extremely nervous about sharing her secret with Rob. She looks quite visibly distressed, but Rob on the other hand, well, he believes that today is about to be one of the most exciting, or should I say, most expensive days of his life. He has absolutely no idea what's on the cards. So for now at least, his main worry is the cost of a wedding ring.
Trying not to spend a bunch. Obviously, this whole process is on a budget, but hopefully.
How much?
Don't worry about it.
$5,000.
$5,000? Sophie, are you dreaming? Are you really trying to pretend that you want a $5,000 ring from a man who can't afford an apartment with an indoor bathroom? Now, I think that Sophie might be using humour here as a way of trying to deflect from the situation, as a way of curbing her own anxiety. She's desperately trying to find the courage to tell Rob about her sexuality, but she just can't seem to get her words out. Like, very quickly, she goes from joking and laughter to sheer and utter panic.
Oh God, I have anxiety. Sorry, 1 second.
So when Rob follows Sophie outside, she finally begins to talk. She starts by sharing with Rob that she's really anxious about telling him this. But she tries to reassure him, don't worry, it's nothing bad.
I don't know why I have anxiety to tell you something. I don't know.
I mean, nobody wants to be told that there's something they don't know.
There's nothing bad.
Nothing bad? Sophie, can I remind you what you told your friend in the pub before you came to the States? Did you or did you not say that you want to actively explore this other side of your sexuality before you get married? Yeah, I think that is pretty bad. I think conveniently she seems to be omitting that piece of the puzzle. But she goes back to trying to reassure Rob he has nothing to worry about.
I just don't want you to be angry at me.
Okay.
I haven't done anything, don't worry.
Okay.
Nothing about being disloyal. Still loyal. Nothing has changed.
Okay, Sophie, fair enough. Nothing has changed as of right now. But if you want to open up your relationship, then there's no way to disguise that. That is a pretty big change. Now, for the time being, Sophie just wants to share the fact that she's attracted to other women. She's not yet ready to tell Rob that she wants to explore that side of her sexuality. But even still, she's really struggling to get these words out. This is a really big weight on her shoulders. She seems to either have shame about confessing, or she's petrified about how her fiance will respond.
I'm just gonna say it very quickly, so I don't want to say it 2 times.
Okay.
I'm bi.
Judging by Sophie's anxiety, the way she's panicking and reassuring Rob, it's clear she wants his acceptance, but she knows he's a hot-headed, highly sensitive guy. She genuinely has no clue how he's gonna respond. But unfortunately for her, the way Rob does respond isn't what she was hoping for.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Now, in Rob's defence, it must be pretty shocking to learn that the person you've been dating for years, the person you're engaged to be married to in less than 2 months, has been keeping such a big secret for so long. You can absolutely understand his shock and why he's upset here. Sophie absolutely should have told him sooner, especially when she was the one lecturing him about honesty. But that seems to be the thing with these two. Honesty seems to be lacking in this relationship. And as they now begin to get to know the real partner that they're marrying, I wonder whether they still want to get married.